to accept the answer before even knowing the question. That is what religious belief is. NuriShabakaUrsaMa'atRa. Knowledge is infinite, therefore evolution is inevitable. Peace. What's up, y'all? Hey, how y'all doing? Hope all is well. Check this out, y'all. So, I asked a brother, a friend of mine, he's ensconced in religion, Christian brother. So I asked him, I say, it was a lady. She had an accident, driving down the highway, and her car flipped over, multiple times, and she was ejected from the vehicle. And she had got her artery cut, and they said she was going to bleed to death. She's going to bleed out or whatever. She gets to the hospital, and they work on her, and she miraculously recovers. And, she's all good, and she's straight. She's back to 100%. And so they thought she was going to die. So she attributed it, to her God. She said it was her God was the reason why she recovered. So I asked him, did her God recover her? Did her God heal her and make her good? And he said, yes, yes, he did. He could do everything. He could do all things. And I was like, wow. But I forgot to tell you that the lady was Muslim. So did Allah heal her? Because she believed that Allah did it. And he was like, he's a loss for words and everything. And so then he was like, well, God, spared her life, so when she come up out of that foolishness, she can give, God praise. I said, well, that's fine. But right now, at this particular point, there's people out there that's hearing her voice and attributing her recovery to Allah, not to Jehovah. So this is a jealous God that we have been taught in the text. He's jealous. Put no other God before me. But yet, he's going to make sure he heals a woman so she can attribute another God. Bunch of foolishness, y'all. Bunch of foolishness. I just want to know, people that believe in a God, just like myself used to be, people that believe in a God, how did we get to the point where we just start believing stuff that has no proof? Like when we was little kids, we used to do that all the time. People would tell us something and we just automatically believe it, and then that was that. But now we grown, If somebody was to come up to you and they was to tell you that they still believe in Santa Claus, you would look at them like they crazy. Because how can a grown person with the intelligence that they have believe in Santa Claus? I'm going to tell you how. The same way one can believe in a God. Imagination is all in here. Any God that anybody can attribute anything to. That's any God. I don't care which God it is. A man made that God. I don't care from Jehovah, Allah, Thor, Loki, Odin, Zeus, Apollos. I don't care. I don't care. From the ancient Kemetic deities, all of them were man-made. They were the concepts that came from the ideas and the brain of a man that transliterated it into what we see it as today. The existence of man, we can go back, thousands of years or whatever. And in these thousands of years, no one was talking about, I'm talking about, 7,000, 8,000 years ago, no one was talking about Allah, Jehovah, none of that. They weren't talking about that. Thor, Odin, they wasn't talking about any of those concepts. But as the years progress, we don't know why the lightning is in the sky, and so we attribute it to a God doing it. We don't know why the water flows, so we made up a God to do these things. They just can't be here with the concepts and the intelligence that's inside of a human brain. The first thing we want to know is how am I here? How's the earth here? How's all of that? So since we didn't really have an answer, we had to attribute it to a deity, and that passed on generation after generation. But now, in these days where we are older and wiser, we know that Santa Claus is not real. All we have to, come on, as a kid, you believe that reindeers fly and drop this white man around the world, delivering presents in one night. And we believe that until we actually had to think about, this is freaking impossible. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, when it comes to a religion text and all of that, you have claims that are in a book that says that a man walked on water. Claims that people rise from the dead. All kind of claims. People just ascended to the heavens. All these claims. Now, we don't even need proof of these claims. Because as an adolescent, we have been taught by the people that we trust that these things were actually true. That it is definitely a God out there that created us. You see what I'm saying? So, no proof. We don't need no proof. And by the time you get older, you start to question and stuff like that. And they have an answer for every question that you can possibly, well, this and that. And then the reason why God do this, why do God kill kids? Well, God kill kids because he made kids and he can do whatever he wants because he God. What? So it all boils down to, we believe in a God. He can do whatever he wants to. And when it's something that they can't explain, God don't want us to know it. And when it's something that they can't answer, well, he God, he can do whatever he wants to. That argument is so circular, you can never lose in that argument. They cannot prove any of those things. Just because we can't disprove it doesn't mean that it's true. No one has ever seen an alien. You can say that you've seen an alien. You can say it all you want, but prove it. No one is going to believe that you've seen an alien until the evidence has been supported that an alien actually exists. You know, in the capacity what we think an alien is. And until that day, no one will believe it. But it's different when it comes to a God. I ask you, and I bet you no one can answer this question. Can anyone that believes that the God that they believe in created everything around us, including us, when they give me some sufficient proof that this actually happened, they ain't no way they can possibly give me proof that a God did it. You can believe it, but there's no evidence to support. Now you have in the book, the Bible, the one that I grew up believing in, Jehovah, the God that I grew up believing in, Jesus, I grew up believing in all of that, and many have that's listening to my voice now, and many still do. Now you have a book. Now this book is supposed to be the inherent word of the God that you believe in, right? Cool. Can you prove to me that book was God's word? You can't. You can believe it. And just because that thing has things in it that's true and things in it that, you know, people can, you know, see, the Bible was right. You know, yes, it can be some things in it that's right. That don't make that book true, and that don't make that book the inherent word of a deity, an almighty, powerful deity. That doesn't mean that that's his book. In the book, it says this is his word, but that doesn't prove that that is his word. You have a red letter Bible, and in the red letter Bible, that is supposed to be the encounters of Jesus of Nazareth, right? Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the one who sacrificed his sin for all to live, right? Got a problem with that, but that'll be another time. But this red letter Bible is supposed to be the words of Jesus, right? So we have the Sermon on the Mount, right? Now this Sermon on the Mount is supposed to be verbatim the words of Jesus, right? Cool. If I read the Sermon on the Mount to a crowd of people right now, tell me the odds of anybody getting every word that I've read verbatim and can memorize it to the point where they can write it down. I want to know, is that possible? And I don't want to hear no, oh, this God and this Jesus, they can do whatever they want to do. That's bull. That's bull crap. Give me some real facts. Some real facts. How can a man preach a sermon? No one's writing down anything. No one's recording on a recorder or anything. But yet and still, thousands of years later, it get canonized into a King James version of the Bible. And in this Bible, it's verbatim the words that Jesus supposed to say it over 1,000 years ago, over 2,000, whenever they got canonized. It's supposed to be verbatim what he said. I have a problem with that. No one was there to record the accounts, but yet and still it gets in a book and it's canonized. And yet and still we believe it. We believe it. That's what Jesus said, word for word. We have no proof. We have no proof that this was the words of Jesus. It's just certain things it's just some things that y'all need to just think about, Just think about that, y'all. How did it get from the Sermon on the Mount and Jesus preaching to it get into a book thousands of years later with nobody writing down anything? They didn't write down that man's sermon, and somebody memorized it and then wrote it down. Just think about some of those things, y'all. It's a whole lot of other stuff I can go into, but this is just a quick one, just a quick one. And I just want y'all to obtain as much knowledge as possible. That's always what I say, because that's how I woke up, and many others have been awoken from, certain religious diatribes, what I'm saying? Certain things that have engulfed us and engulfed our lives, what I'm saying? But once you use knowledge, then you can be supreme over anything, because knowledge is infinite. Therefore, evolution is inevitable. Peace. Oh yeah, this is your brother, NuriShabakaUrsaMa'atRa.